3 weeks of the download. Can you believe that? Last week I replaced it with the AMA with Aaron. The week before, the AMA with Arcade. Then the week before that, we did have an episode of the download, but now we are coming back. Thankfully, a lot has happened, but they've all been singular large events rather than lots of little things happening. So there's not too much to cover today, even though everything we're covering is of utmost importance. So it's really important stuff if you need to catch up in the Illuvium ecosystem. Taryn is having some trouble today. It's very funny. We're going to laugh at him as we go throughout this episode of the download. How's it going today, man?
What's up? Can you hear me? Everything is okay. I'm having like tech issues and a bunch of
Yeah,
everything's cool.
Fine. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, man. Cool. I'm excited. I finally caught back up with a lot of the stuff that I was working on. Things are moving pretty smoothly, and like you said, it's been an interesting couple of days, a couple of weeks. Some very, very big announcements here and there. Things popping up. Yeah, there's going to be a lot to talk about today, so I'm excited to have this conversation.
I have to ask on the top here, have you played the Illuvium build where the Illuvials are in the Overworld?
Have I played I've played one of the initial versions of it. Yes, I have.
I can hear him fine. Really, Speeder?
Yo. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It should be working okay, but I think it's... okay. All right. Okay, so you haven't played the recent one, because I on the town hall, Kieran was asking Rich what he thought of the recent build, because he was playing it. Supposedly there were alluvials everywhere and stuff like that. I don't know exactly how immersive it was and things like that.
Yeah.
But I would love to talk about this with the team for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and answer what I can. But yeah, like I said, the version that I tried out was a pretty early version of it, I would say. And I think it's been said. I'm always very cautious of what to say here, and what's already been said publicly. I think Aaron's already said that they're working on a video internally to get out in the next couple of weeks. I know for a fact he said that publicly.
Yep.
So I think that's going to be good. Once we get a video out, people can see it with their own eyes. And I think he actually said it just in today's AMA, actually, with Illumination with Paz, where some people are going to have this really crazy feeling of, yo, it's going to be just like WoW, super interactive. And some people are going to undersell it. And it's going to be somewhere in the middle, right? The end goal, like what Aaron was saying, is to get it to a point where you are going out and it is something super interactive, but it does take time to get there. So it's definitely going in the right direction. I'm very happy with it. And like I said, I might have said this to you. Again, I forget who I've spoken to now. But I think with the success of Palworld, there's a lot. And this is the first time we've spoken since Palworld's come out, actually. So that's the real reason we've skipped out on the download. We've been playing Palworld. No, I think with the success of Palworld, like there's a lot that we can take from it, right? Like one of the great things that, and I'll be very upfront, even though I am on the team, I'll share my opinions on this, is I'm personally not a big fan of having certain areas where everything's clumped together. I would much rather see nodes absolutely everywhere, plants absolutely everywhere, alluvials absolutely everywhere, in abundance, like Palworld, where it feels alive. Because no matter what a player is still going to have a limited amount of energy or that they can use. So even if there's 100 wakes or alluvials that you can encounter, if you go and scan them all, you've wasted your run by just scanning them all. You haven't you still need to make decisions. So I don't think we should limit that choice. But yeah, like I say, that's the direction I would like to see it go. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm keen to see what the video is like. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I'm keen to see what the video is like and to see the community's reaction to it as well.
Yeah, well, like I said in my video, the video is done really well, and I think a lot of people agree with what I said in the video. But really, the TLDR is the game doesn't have any replayability yet, which is going to be very important moving forward. Unfortunately, even though the regions are really big and really beautiful, stunning, and really cool to run around in, they have this unfortunate problem of once you've run through it once, you know it now. They're not particularly complex. There's not a lot of hidden areas. It doesn't take you long to learn the map, and then that kills all the replayability. So you need to make sure that every time you're entering, it feels like you're entering a brand new adventure every single time. And that's much easier said than done, obviously. But I think the randomization of alluvials walking around, even if it's basic, as long as they're randomized, that is a big, big change. Even though it's still kind of like that already, because the wakes all have random alluvials in it. But at least this way, it feels a little bit more involved in the actual overworld. So I think that's going to make a big difference. All right. And with that, let's jump into Dimitri's actually put forward a ton of leaks in the past day or so. So we're going to go through all them. First up, we got Archie. He's looking pretty dapper. We love him. I found out today that Aaron thinks he's the cutest thing ever created. We've got Arcos. I actually really like this one.
Yeah. Did you skip past my alluvial that I put up?
Oh, was that yours? A Teehee Nage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
A Teehee.
Oh, wait. I get it.
It's so good.
There's more links, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I think we'll be pretty quiet with the leaks.
No, I swear to God, Dimitri had more.
My guy's searching for leaks on the show.
Swear to God, there were more. Here we go. So we got one of little Ebb. He's pretty cute. Ebb's one of my favorite alluvials. He's probably top 5 for me.
Actually, have you been seeing the daily alluvials that the
yes.
Yeah, I love that.
I've been really enjoying them.
Yeah,
the Illuvium Twitter is killing it right now. There's no joke about that for sure.
Definitely go to the Positive Vibes channel and just tag Dick. Like he stepped it up completely. Man.
It's hard for me to tell who it is because I know you got that new person on board, and so I don't know if he's been doing stuff as well or if you do sometimes. I have no idea.
No, I'm completely hands off with. I'll give some ideas and things like that and prepare some of the content, and give that to Dick, but it's all him.
So this is Monkey. I'm assuming stage 1. Why is he so orange? I thought he was yellow.
Because Kieran is actually a rhino.
Well, I like the orange better. I just didn't expect them to change it this late in the game, but I like it. We've got the 3 pandas. I love the eyes of the baby panda. It's so good. And I love how they're like Kung Fu masters. I think everyone's made those comments already. Loving it. Yeah, don't forget I met Kieran in person. New gorilla. I'm liking it. Looks like the fur coloring has changed a little bit on this. There's a lot of different color variation here too. I'm hoping if you play the overworld in 4K with alluvials roaming around, you will see all the detail in this because that's what's gonna truly set us apart from Palworld. Is they're never going to be able to do something like this, and there is a market for this. That excites me.
I think it doesn't need to be at that top tier level, but I mean somewhere close would be good. Sorry, give me 1 sec, guys. I'll be back.
That's all good. And then we got Foe here as well. Very, very cute. I think these are looking absolutely fantastic. But really, we need to see them in motion to really kind of grasp the actual effort that's been put into these alluvials in the game. All right. Next one. The collection landing pages are receiving an overhaul. I don't know exactly what this means, but it looks like the album and Illuvium Beyond in general is going to be getting upgrades. I know they're not the priority for the Illuvium team, and other things like the Arena, Overworld, and Open Beta are. But it's interesting to see that they are going to get an upgrade, and it's going to become a bit easier to use, and you're going to have some more features as well. And even though we underestimate Illuvium Beyond sometimes, it's been doing pretty well. I got knocked out of the top 100 on the leaderboard, and if no one new was coming into Illuvium Beyond, that would not be happening. So I just wanted to point that out.
Sorry, can you repeat? I'm not gonna lie, I missed that completely. What did you say?
That's good. I'm just saying more people are coming into Illuvium Beyond, even if it's slow. And so it's not the right decision to neglect that. But I know that the focus is on other things. But I do like to see that they're going to be upgrading it and improving it. There is a market for that product, and there are people that enjoy it, including myself. And there are many others that have knocked me off the leaderboard now. And I don't think I have the funds to get back on, which is fine. My collection is pretty solid, to be honest. So
yeah, I'm happy with my collection as well. And obviously, I'll get more into it as we move forward. But yeah, no, I don't think we should be sleeping on Beyond at all. Like it's going to have a very important role in the ecosystem as a whole moving forward. especially when open beta does come out and the collections really do start giving you those cosmetics and collectibles that you really want. So yeah, I think it's got a very prominent position in the ecosystem moving forward.
And as Nick has said here, their focus is squarely on client-side features for Arena and Overworld. I don't know what that means. I'm going to assume that's back-end to some direction, to some way, but I don't know. It sounds good.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, this post here from Johnny was actually really interesting. So Johnny said that with the minting window come to a close, what would you like to see before open beta? One, client-only version of the beta. They can add some new gameplay and quality of life features. Experimental features in the alpha, which is going to take the longest to do because the alpha is dead code, as he says. 3, limited but server connected version of beta, which would be the hardest to do, but it's the closest to the real experience. I would assume like the marketplace and things like that would be functioning. And then these other options got like no votes, so we're not really going to give them much time. He did mention that 1, 2, and 3 could optionally include Megacity. So the most votes was definitely going to 1. And Nick said that the assumption it will require the least amount of effort from the team. So I don't know when he would plan on putting this out. But I think a lot of people would be really happy to get even a minor update for Illuvium 0. I'm assuming this will reset land, but it would still be super cool to see, especially for those people with Megacities to get a grasp on it.
100%. I think, landholders are going to be, like I'll say this. I'm excited to be a landholder moving forward. So
have you seen some extra stuff that you can't reveal?
I mean, I think Kieran's going to talk about a lot of these things. I'm really excited for the Insider tomorrow. I think he's going to be covering a lot of things in the direction of 2024. I think that's going to be a really, really big one. So absolutely don't miss that. But so I think he'll cover some
what exactly is that happening tomorrow? Because I saw a little thing, but I haven't looked heaps into it yet. It's at 1:30, I think, my time tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's like 11:30 my time. Yeah, no, it's essentially what it is I'm not sure if it was like a year ago or something, but it was like a yearly wrap up that Kieran and Aaron did together. And last year we didn't do that. And so what we decided was instead of doing a yearly wrap up, let's do a yearly startup, right? Like what are we doing? Like sharing the vision, all of the things that we've been working on, because we do feel like the communication has been a little bit lackluster between the team and the community. So instead of wrapping up the year, we wanted to start the year off as strong as possible. I mean, we've seen a lot of great things happening, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it later with the Arena leaderboards. That's finally out. We saw a massive spike of players from that. We saw the creator rewards, massive. I think that's been a success in its own right as well. So a lot of positivity coming out with some of the initiatives that we've put out. So I think having Kieran come out there, talk about the vision, the things that were being worked on, getting everyone updated, that's the plan for tomorrow. And I think he's going to go a bit more in depth with Andrew in a way that he can't do it with yourself or Paz or something like that, because you guys don't know the right questions to ask.
Of course.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I'm definitely very excited to watch that myself.
Yeah, keen. Unfortunately, I'll be out at lunch with like a work thing, so I might not be able to catch that one live, but I might be able to catch the back half. So definitely looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward. I know for a fact that he's going to be sharing a lot. So I'm really hoping you guys can clip things like from the creators. I'd love for you guys to clip certain parts of it, react to it, post about it. Like there's going to be a lot of gems in there that I think you guys can really pick apart and share your thoughts and opinions on as well.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's a win-win for everyone.
Okay, so here's the big one. And now we're going to talk about this announcement a little bit later. The Grant Warwick has stepped down from the project, but the day after, he did leave us with this video. And as you're probably going to mention later on anyways, this video is from like 6 months ago. It's actually changed a lot, even though this was the early stages of it. And here we go.
Oh, there's no sound, hey?
I don't think this video had sound. Yeah.
Yeah, this video is old, man.
It's not even the Malura that I like. It's actually the Titaur on the back. If you watch the Titaur with the slow steps, you can just tell that it's a different creature with different behavior. And it's so chill. And I love it. And I also really like the way they're interacting with the terrain, and it's hard to tell if the grass is probably moving around their legs or anything like that, but I don't think it matters too much. It looks good to see them in the overworld. They look so small compared to the size of the overworld, which is really cool. My only fear with Illuvials in the overworld at this stage is that they're going to have the same problem as rocks. You're going to run around, it's going to take you like half an hour to actually see an Illuvial. And instead of like, you see like an Atlas or two over here, and then like a Fiery over there, and you're like, oh, Fiery is maybe a bad example, but you're like, I don't really want any of them. I want to find something more interesting. And then you ignore them and you go somewhere else. Rather than you're searching and searching and searching, and finally you find an Atlas, and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to shoot it then because it's the only one. And then it takes it would make them all feel a little bit less special, you know, because then it's just the orbs all over again. You're just replacing it with a different 3D model, and it won't work as well as you might think. So I definitely hope that it's populated. It doesn't have to be like 100 things in one place, but you know what I mean.
No, I agree, and it's something that I brought up with the team as well. Like, because I would like to see, for example, 3 Atlases playing around, like a couple of Atlases and an Archie. So like 2 Atlases and an Archie playing around, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then you turn the corner, and there's a monk here standing there. It's like, oh damn, like that's the feeling of like, ouch, like, or you see a Tiru, or you see a like you say a Fiery, like that's, or even a Flare. You kind of see the basic things. And you see something cool, you're like, oh my god, like that's the feeling that you want to have. So no, absolutely, I agree with you. It needs to be populated, and that's what I've said. Like, I want to see it overly populated because the player still has a certain amount of resources. It doesn't actually change much. So yeah, 100%, 100%. I think we're onto it. Like, I think the team is on the same wavelength there. Again, I think there was a lot to learn from Palworld, and we're not going to. Like, it's just obvious that there were obvious successes in Palworld that make it a pretty easy decision moving forward.
For sure. All right. So next one we've got here is the delay for the Illuvium Arena. What specifically went wrong with deployment? Nothing earth-shattering. Simply when pushing a large number of changes to higher environments, we must conduct thorough testing and identify any issues that may appear. As I found out today, they actually had to wipe Overworld because of some of this sort of stuff. So I suspect that was part of the reasons it got delayed. Is just like stuff started to bug out, not just in Arena, but on everything. So that's a lot of work to fix. So the problem is that when they redeploy to the environment, they're going to retest from scratch and stuff. Not an ideal process, but I mean, I'm no coder. I know coding has these sorts of things, so it is what it is. But I always appreciate the transparency, especially from Nick. He's always around to answer questions. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. It was a massive patch. Like, people don't understand because we didn't have a patch for like 3 weeks. So there was a lot that went into that, not just like bug fixes and a few nerfs and buffs, things like that. A lot went into that one.
Oh, yeah. This one's really interesting. Someone asked Ben if there's going to be a reset every single week. It is absolutely not. They zero plans to do it frequently. We will probably get a hard reset on open beta, I would assume, because everyone's using their own Illuvials and stuff. Besides that, I don't ever expect there to really be a reset. I know League of Legends does a really soft reset once a year. I don't know if Illuvium will do that. I'd like to see something, but yeah.
Yeah, I think usually a season makes sense. So every 6 months. Like, you can do a reset every 6 months. A year seems a bit much. But yeah, every 6 months you do a hard reset. I mean, if the top players are really top players, they're just going to get back up there anyway, right? It just kind of balances it out that, okay, if you are a lower player and you had some issues, you have a better chance to move back up. But yeah, I think a 6-month reset makes complete sense. It's fair. It's not strenuous. Yeah, pretty easy.
The next
one, I agree. They should have decay on the ranking. I think Dota does that, where if you don't play for an extended period of time, your ranking quality, I think it's called, or something like that. I don't know what it's called. But if you haven't played for a long time, the quality changes. So your wins get you more, your losses get you more. Like, there's a larger variance because they're unsure if you're actually where you're supposed to be. And then the more that you play, the more accurate it's like. Okay, it goes up to 100% accuracy, ranking accuracy or something. I forget the phrase, but yeah, I do agree. And decay makes sense.
For sure. This next one here is really interesting. So let's bring that up. I did not expect this. So Aaron said that set 1 for alluvials in the overworld, I'm pretty sure they're talking about. For set 1, it will be approximately 12 months. Does that mean all of the set 1 alluvials will go extinct after 12 months? I would assume not. That means set 2 would start to kick in. I still don't know how that interacts with Illuvium Beyond, but it's really interesting that he expects set 2 to kick in for about 12 months after open beta launch is what this sounds like. And they will try to make it faster, which is interesting too. Beyond will have to sync up with the full game, so there could be some time where there's a bit of an async. I definitely expect that. The thing is, it'll get more consistent over time. So when you're halfway into set 2, it'll probably balance out properly and everything will be smooth rolling because hopefully they've made enough revenue. There's more on the team and all that sort of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, this was a big one. I didn't expect people to latch onto this one so much, and I swore it had been said before. But Aaron mentioned the existence of factions in my AMA, and someone went straight away to ask him how many factions there are, and Aaron said that there's 4. Are you guys in the chat? Are you guys excited for factions? I'm not that big on the factions. I like the idea that you do progress towards building up your faction and all that sort of stuff. But I've never been a big factions person in video games in general.
You say that now. Wait until you actually figure out what it is. You say that now, but wait till you figure it out. Yeah.
There's the hype. We love it. All right. Fine. Fine. I love factions. I'm a factions guy now. Jesus. Okay. So the next thing is this bit down the bottom is really what I wanted to look at. Some tournament rules they are planning on rolling out, which means nominating multiple team comps and having the other person banned, which is also something me and Jimbo are working on for future Infernos. Unfortunately, there won't be an Inferno this weekend while we prepare, catch up. I'm about 2-3 more days still behind in all the stuff I'm doing, so I'm finally going to catch up this week, hopefully. But really looking forward to the tournament structures they build out with Illuvium. And these sorts of things might even come out soon before or soon after open beta. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I think that, you guys are going to have a break for a couple of weeks. I think Ethos is going to have a little bit of break. I think it's going to be good to kind of realign, make sure everything's good, how we can optimize it. I think that the team banning makes complete sense. We just haven't found a solution for that yet. Like externally with you guys, internally, I know they're working on something. So yeah, fingers crossed that we find that. I think that's going to be super important because at the end of the day, it is a card game mixed as an order battler, and a banning stage kind of needs to be required. A deck list, a banning stage needs to be required in a game like this.
I think what's more important is conquest rules, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Where if you have 2 teams, let's say you had 3 and 1 was banned, but you have 2 teams, and you need to win with both teams to win the series, which means that you have to learn how to play multiple things into multiple opponents, kinds of opponents, and things like that. You have to learn how to play the game holistically, rather than just learn how to play Phosphorus, for example. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with focusing on a deck really hard. But if that deck is just really, really good, then now all you need to do is play that deck, and the meta gets really weird, especially in tournaments. Whereas if one team is really, really good, but now you have to win with 2 teams, you now have to learn how to play things that aren't really, really good as well, and learn the mind games around that and stuff. So it should be really exciting. The other thing we've got here is Zeptile's been asking for an increase in team storage limits. Aaron's on board, everything like that. Team's fine with it. They're going to be implementing it. Unfortunately, it did not make it into this patch.
Yeah, it's going to happen, and I think the number that it's going to go up to is going to be more than enough for all the tryhards and everything. I think everyone's going to be very, very happy with that change. And I think that should be a pretty quick fix that can come in relatively quickly. So, yeah, anyone that is asking for that, doesn't need to worry. It's on its way.
Mech alluvials. I love that. That would actually be pretty sick. Not gonna lie. All right. Okay, so this one's here. This has caused a little bit of confusion, and it's in one of my upcoming videos. So, the intention is for you to have one account that goes for rewards. It is fine for you to practice using multiple accounts, but you can't get on a lucky streak and then say, actually, I choose this account this week. So no matter what, your primary account is the only one that is going to get rewards. It doesn't matter if you have Hetburn Hay 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the top 5 spots. your primary Head1Hey account that's ranked 1001 is not going to get any rewards until you're out. Okay, so you gotta keep that in mind.
That is correct. Yes, I have nothing else to add to that.
All right. The last thing we've got is all of the announcements that we've missed over the past few weeks. All right. Firstly, Beyond Wave 2 concluded. I'm looking forward. I saw I don't know if it was Roger or someone else.
Yeah,
they posted a Hollow Scoriox on Twitter. So I've got to start getting my ETH and my SRV and everything together for Wave 3. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna get me that. I'll probably stack mostly ETH and try and buy it off secondary, to be honest. Hopefully someone just sends it to me. That would be pretty cool too. Keep an eye out. Okay. So the next thing we've got is Nexus was announced, but we'll cover that in a minute. Join the Illuvium Creator Rewards Program. Very simple. You go to this application form and you apply. Can you still apply, TSG?
Yeah, of course. It's open. It's completely open for the next 11 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, it's open forever. Like, obviously, there's going to be more initiatives than just this rewards program. But yeah, absolutely. Being a part of the Illuvium community, there's a bunch of things that we're working on that I'm making a priority on my side. Like this, I've been very, very happy with the result of this. A bunch of new creators, a bunch of non-English speaking creators. Like, it's been I would say a very successful initiative. So yeah, very, very excited to see more people join in. I have people that are existing, pretty notable figures in the Web3 gaming space reaching out to me now that they've seen like these rewards. They're like, yo, I didn't know about this. How do I get involved? So yeah, like I think it's only gonna scale up and ramp up. So very, very, very excited about that. I mean, what are your thoughts? You're actually participating in it. Do you have any thoughts to share?
No, I really like the program. It's been really simple and basic. Like after each week, TSG will tell you'll see the little congratulations thing, and we'll look at that in a minute. But it's really straightforward. If anyone's not aware of how it works, basically, whoever gets the most link clicks gets the top prize, right? And it's cascading down. And there's about 50. I think there's 50 people that get rewards every single week.
Okay, so I'll clarify a few things.
Yep.
So the way that we like top performers, we reward the top performing content creators. What that means is everyone gets a unique link that I'm sure you guys have been seeing around. Scoriox has it in the chat right now. The way that the top performers are determined based on unique users using that link, signups through that link, and downloads through that link. So all three of those factors play a part into where you stand on that ranking. So like Scoriox mentioned, there's 50 people that get those rewards, and an additional 23 randomly selected streamers that stream for 3 hours Illuvium dedicatedly, or an hour of any other Web3 game, and then 2 hours of Illuvium to promote that collaboration. That can be on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I don't care. Binance Live, I don't care. Anywhere that they're streaming, they can get randomly selected. And just so people know as well, like what type of content do I make? The guy who came in first last week is an article writer. You don't see him on videos. You don't see him on Twitter. He writes articles on Medium and different platforms like that. So yeah, be creative. Be absolutely creative.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that we missed. Crap! I had something in my head. Damn. Yeah, click the links. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. But yeah, just keep putting out the links and everything, talking to people, getting involved. That's what I was going to say. Every week it resets. So if I had, say, 20 link clicks this past week, I'm going to get 20 more. And I think it needs to be unique people too. So, for example, if you clicked my link and you click it again this week, it doesn't count, I don't think.
Correct. Yeah.
So it is going to be kind of harder and harder, but at the same time, it's going to make it, if you get lots of link clicks in 1 week, it's going to mean it's a little bit harder for those people to get the same link clicks. So if you're coming in late, you're actually at a somewhat of an advantage in some ways as well. So it's good. It's good.
And like I said, it's not just about the click. Like the clicks is the easiest thing to get. It's actually the the actions on top of that, the signups and the downloads. It's essentially you're trying to bring people to Illuvium, right? Like at the end of the day, it is a marketing initiative. We're trying to reward the creators that bring users to us. And like I said, we've seen through the arena leaderboards and the creator rewards, we've seen a massive spike in players. So yeah, no, absolutely.
So this was the announcement where Grant was stepping down. As Grant said in a message later on, this was not a particularly honest response. Grant hasn't really moved on to personal projects in that sense. He stepped down for some personal reasons. And we're not really going to talk about that here. That's for him to share. If you want to see, go search his name in the Discord. It won't take you long to find it. Next thing is the Arena patch. This is a really interesting patch. It nerfs quite a few things. I don't think it overdoes it too much. Phosphorus got nerfed hard because a lot of the really OP things in the game got nerfed. Not necessarily Phosphorus itself, but its beak attack did get reduced in width. Bloom got nerfed. Some of the augments got changed. Indomitable and the invulnerable augments got changed.
Oh, really?
They still do similar effects, but they're not like an unbeatable card now. For example, the Indomitable one is when you drop below 25% health, you get 50% damage reduction for 5-6 seconds or whatever.
Oh, wait, so they took out Indomitable? Like they removed Indomitable?
I think there's a legendary augment that can still grant it, but they took it out on those augments, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
And they took out Invulnerable as well, which is pretty much the same thing. It's just at the start of combat.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it makes the game a lot more interesting to play. You can't just stick Indomitable on your Ramfire. You have to actually position your Ramfire so it doesn't die.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump in after this and make a couple of teams.
Yeah, the nerf to less augments is quite interesting as well. For example, Ramfire could instacast with 3 energy team-wide augments and 2 of the energy augments on top of Ramfire. It could instacast, but now you can only get 1 of each, and so Ramfire still has to attack quite a few times before casting in general, and you can't make it unkillable. And so the entire game is going to be played differently. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I need to see what Web3 Gaming and Viper are saying, but I want to find out, is the meta still 8 alluvials? I don't think that would be the case anymore.
I haven't seen that. It's too hard because you can't place like 20 viable augments in your team.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. That being said, my team that I'm testing right now has 2 distinct modes to it, but I managed to get it down to 10 alluvials. I don't know if it's any good yet.
Interesting.
But I'm doing that, and because you still want to get as many augments out as you can, that's the only way to really scale into late game anyways. And so it's a balance between the two that you really have to strike. That being said, I do expect the augments to have this weird problem of everyone's using the same 10 augments. We kind of go back to almost the same problem a little bit.
Interesting. I mean, well, it'll be interesting to see how the meta plays out.
Yeah.
After this, I'm definitely going to jump on it. I probably shouldn't, but I will.
I have a lot to do, but I'll probably play a game or 2. My first game, I beat Josh. He had a bug. That was interesting. Okay. So Ascendant Leaderboard rewards. We should probably open this up. So here we go. Here's the allocation. Rank 1 will get 9 ILV every single week. They're rank 1. Not forgetting that you have to play 15 games in a week to be eligible, and Smurfs don't count.
Can I ask, as we go through this, I'm just very curious. What does chat think about these numbers? I'm very curious to hear what their thoughts are on this distribution. But yeah, carry on.
I think it's super top heavy. It would, but not in that way. Like, I don't hate the idea of top players getting 9 ILV or anything like that, but I do feel like top 50 is a bit underserved. So top 25 feels pretty good, but that's a pretty small cohort. I would say in Illuvium, there are 50 to 70 players that are really good at the game. And then beyond that, you've got your mid-tier, right? And so the top 50 not being super high and the top 100 not being super high feels a little bit unusual to me. But besides, I think top 500, 1,000 feel great. Top 100 is not too bad, but the top 50, 25 feels a bit weird.
Have you seen the prize distribution in like esports for like how it dropped? How it okay? I was gonna say because it was heavily inspired by that. Like if you look at it at all, like the way it all scales up, it scales up. If you can scroll up a little bit, scroll up a bit. Let me just look at the numbers again. Yeah, so the way it's done up was done like systematically, so it's pretty much slightly above doubling each time until you get to the very top, where it's just like, all right, it's just a bit more every single time. But if
Mm.
you look at the how esports prize distributions are, it's very similar to that. Like
Mm.
if you're saying like, oh, top 50, top 100 in real esports, top 50, like if you're 50th, you don't get anything. Like you're like, it's very low at the bottom.
Mm.
So it is like what we tried to do here was try to find a bit of a balance between not giving that out and making it worthwhile being top 50, top 100, and using that as an incentive of, okay, yo, I'm already at 26. I can push it to the top 25, right? I can get onto that. Like it's meant to act as a motivator rather than a punish. Because in real esports, if you come in 25th, you're not getting anything. Like actually, you're getting like nothing.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I trust you guys' judgment. I don't think, given you're giving out 166 RLV without increasing that a lot, I don't really think you can change it in the ways that I
Yeah.
kind of wanted it to be. Really, the only place I'm coming from is if I'm sitting at like top, if I'm sitting at like top 500, I'm like, where do I want to grind to? And it's like, I don't think I can make top 25, top 50. So I might just sit here, like, I don't know if it's worth my time increasing and that sort of stuff because I just know how challenging that top 25 spot would truly be. And even then, for one ILV, it's not really worth it. You're really looking for like that 4 ILV mark. You're like, I would grind hard for that 4 ILV, but it's tricky. That's all good. It's not really a big deal.
Interesting. Yeah. We'll see. Like it's just come out, but we'll see how it looks in the what the feedback in. I think generally speaking, the feedback's been pretty positive, right? I haven't seen too much negativity about it. I think it's been pretty well received. But yeah, I'm keen to see once it does go out, like what people's thoughts are.
Sure. First snapshot was already taken, so you're playing for week 2 at the moment. Hunt begins now. Mystery of the Nexus has kicked off. I'm loving Mystery of the Nexus at the moment. I know you probably didn't join a team. I'm in a team with Boyo, Mega Ratty, Glitch, and Hobats. It's been a lot of fun. And even though we're not like communicating or allying up or anything like that, me and Ricky have been talking a lot of smack to each other too, which has been really funny. Community Town Hall kicked off. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Illuvium Arena patch just got deployed like an hour or two ago.
30 minutes
and it's
ago,
all live now. You can update the game. All the tooltips and images and card descriptions and everything have all been updated too, which was kind of annoying with last patch where none of the cards were actually updated, even though some of the stats and effects were, which was quite funny. But everything's been fully updated. Absolutely loving it. So the next thing we've got is the one and only Scoriox did have an AMA with Aaron. It was a great AMA. People loved it. Got 2K views now, 30 comments, over 200 likes. I don't think I've broken 200 likes in like a year. And the last time I did might have been the other Aaron AMA, to be honest.
Yeah. I think
people enjoy it.
Yeah, I think Aaron AMAs. Like I'm very surprised at how positive. No, there's nothing against Aaron. I'm very surprised at how well they do so consistently. I know he kind of mentioned that he'd be up for like a monthly AMA. I would love for you to be doing that, man. Stay on top of that one. I think a monthly AMA with Aaron would be an incredible thing, and I think you being the core Illuvium creator as well, I think it makes the most sense to. I mean, at one stage you were averaging 200 live viewers or something like that. I think it makes the most sense for the most eyes and everything for you to be that person.
I think I hit a peak at 200, but I sat around 150 for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, like that's like I think it was like you said, it was very valuable the information that he was sharing. So I do agree. I think that even at those numbers, it makes sense.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, I'd love to do it monthly, but as I told you before, I really like it when something's happened and I can bring that into the conversation and talk around that as well. Like if we got that video leak, that would be the moment I go, Aaron, AMA next week, let's do it. And then I could talk about the video leak a lot during the AMA as well. And it makes it more interesting and I can title around it as well. Obviously, titling in January is super easy. I just say open beta is coming in 2024 for like every video. This video probably has the same thing. But when you get to Feb and March, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Paz also had an AMA with Aaron. I was really busy with stuff, so I didn't listen too closely, unfortunately. People in the
It was
chat seemed
good.
to enjoy it. It went pretty
It was
well.
really good. Really good.
Yeah. The next one we've got here is this post showing off the winners of the winning content creators of the first week of the Content Creator Awards. I came 9th, which is pretty sweet. Fight for ETH came 10th. It always surprises me how much engagement he gets on his tweets. Because he doesn't have a particularly big account, but he seems to have like a really dedicated following, and I love it.
Yeah,
and a bunch of people I don't recognize, which is probably the best possible thing about this program. You need a
100%.
If it was 10 people we know, then that would be quite a negative.
It would be a fail, yeah.
Yes.
So like, yeah, I like Alvaro, Nalvaha, both of those guys, Team Heso guys. So they're like major Web2 Clash of Clans creators. They covered us slightly, which was cool. Alex is a article writer, like I said. End of the Line is a TFT streamer that we got on board for the Arena campaign, and me and him have kept in touch. So he's very, very well done. Got number 2. I know for a fact that he's actually going to be speaking to Viper. I've connected him with Viper, so Viper's going to train him up, and like they've got a bit of a deal going on in the back there as well, which is cool. Crypto Gamers, Russian guy, Russian content creator, smashed it. Phenom, again, another Russian guy, smashed it. Yeah, man, like, yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with all these new names that I know because I speak to, but the community isn't just aware of because they're covering different markets, different things like that. Very, very happy with how this played out.
Yeah, top 20 is a little bit more recognized. I know pretty much everyone on this list. And 21 to 30, you got a lot of your newer creators that are just coming in because they saw this program and they want to get involved with Illuvium, which is also really awesome. Many of them haven't really gone hard on content creation. I know quite a few people are starting up their content creator journey, which excites me. I love helping out new creators, you know that. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, there's a lot of great names here.
Yeah, I was very happy with just the interaction with the tweet as well. Like everyone was getting around it, and I love that. Again, because of that, we had way more creators reach out to me trying to get involved again. Like I just approved the latest batch today, so now we're gonna have more content creators. And just so people know, like we saw numbers go up by like 1,000% in terms of like traffic and users to our website and the game. We're looking at increases of 900%. I'm pretty sure I can share those type of numbers, but we're looking at increases of 900%, 1,000%. And so, yeah, as this keeps scaling and growing, yeah, very, like I said before, very, very happy with this initiative, and very, very happy with you guys. Like you guys smashed it. Like, yeah, I'm just very excited to see the future. You guys continue to push. I'm going to try and feed you guys as much information and ideas as possible. But yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it.
And if you haven't already, click the link that's being posted by the Nightbot in the chat so that you guys can make sure to help me out as a creator. If you haven't downloaded the game, definitely click the link. Go and download the game. You will absolutely love it. The arena is really good. This patch has made the game so much more interesting to play. It'll eventually get stale, I'm sure. I don't know, Jotun will be really good or something. I have no idea. I personally don't think behemoths are ever going to be good. I don't think you can make them good.
What did you just say?
I don't think you can make behemoths good.
You know it's called behemoth, right?
Behemoth. I like saying it my way. It's okay. The other thing we have to look at is the Illuvium Town Hall. Kieran went through this. There's no visuals for it or anything. But it was a good chat. It was a good chat, but I think the inside is going to be way more interesting. So I'm looking forward to that.
Agreed.
And yeah, that's all I had on the agenda. Is there anything else you want to cover off before we wrap up?
No. I mean, I'm glad to be back. How do you say Jotun's class again?
Behemoth.
I gotta hear Behemoth. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm done. I've done my job. I've taught Scoriox how to say Behemoth. I'm done for the day.
Behemoth. That's the way.
Oh my god.
We love it. All right. Have a good one, guys. Appreciate you guys sticking by. If you haven't clicked the link, go click the link. If you need to catch up on Illuvium news, we do this every single week. Okay. Don't forget to tune in, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell or whatever down below. We love it. I have some really great content coming out soon. Can't wait to see you guys next week.